There was a Sebago a week ago Monday. Open this meeting. May 11th, 2021 at 5, we'll go 5:10.
So I looked at, once you guys can read, but number 2 on the agenda, I'll be at one that you guys see it? Yeah. So through new, I'll say new policy discussion with the selectmen, obviously declaration of quorum is obvious in this case, but the disclosure of conflict of interest is a new item that we'll have to discuss every meeting. In case any kind of project, for reasons John wants to open up a business.
For like if one of my applications, if I had an application on there.
Correct, it'd be a conflict with a quorum to vote on your permit.
Right.
In this case.
So we still be at the meeting, but I have to be recused, is that the word?
Recuse yourself from that.
From voting
Yeah,
for my
that
discussion.
Correct.
Or that vote.
Correct.
In the simplest terms. All right.
Yes.
I supply water to all these guys, can I just go home?
So that doesn't quite meet the criteria.
It's just,
No, that's the skill set that we actually need. Because the water people solve most of the issues here.
That's correct. Or create issues, that's it today.
Or would you guys break something with it?
Al had,
Oh, my gosh.
Al didn't respond to the ticket he was supposed to do.
That ain't true. That's true. Then we turned into, oh my God.
We'll discuss that when we go with the permit, actually, it's gonna just, discuss that later, actually, there's no permit.
All right. So is that all it needs to be?
Definitely, yes, because obviously at this point, the agenda doesn't have anything that would create a conflict with anybody, and obviously we accept we have a quorum based on who's in attendance, so.
Correct. Do we have any last minute adjustments to the agenda?
No.
Okay. Review meeting minutes. I looked those over. Well, I was on break at work today. I didn't see anything that stood out when I looked over. So I guess
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written for October 13, 2020, February 9th, 2021, March 9th, 2021.
excellent. I'll second that motion. All right, all put to a vote, all in favor? We have 3-0 to accept the 3 minutes that are on the 3 meeting minutes that are on the agenda. Is there any further discussion? And we do not have any public here to speak on non-agenda items. Moving right along to 5. No commitment tonight.
No, unfortunately, we've had many situations within conflict of schedule trying to get together. Tomorrow morning, we have both aside some time, and tomorrow we will crank out that commitment, and hopefully at that point, get a meeting scheduled.
Just a fast meeting,
Just meeting next week. So we can just expand this. It's unfortunately, this course been dragged out, like you read about, but just we'll get it going. Make it happen.
When I reviewed the packet, I didn't see any amendments. Is that correct?
Correct.
No further supplement, but we did have, all right, so moving on to 7, we do have 3 applications on here.
Yes.
We'll start at the top of the list with Shane Boros, map 35, lot 44A, Cross Street.
All right, so this one, I'd like to actually maintain on the agenda, but we'll discuss it, but I don't want to have any kind of movement on it. I want to table it, so to say, within any kind of a vote at the end. So this property is what I consider the bamboo lot next to what was Craig Raymond's house. Shane and Stacy did have plans to put at least a duplex on it. Since then, there has been some other interest on abutting properties for future development. I can't disclose a whole lot of it right now. I mean, I can, it's public, but I'd rather not open it up at a public meeting. So with that said, Stacy have been approached by an abutter who has plans for an abutting lot, and they're working a deal out now, so that lot will be utilized in one fashion or the other. I don't want to vote on any kind of action in this lot based, obviously, one, of the transaction that may take place, and then two, if the development changes, so. If have to be written anyway, but it'll be a good placeholder for that development for lot.
We have to make
So
a
this
motion.
is a pending application
To be pending,
to change.
to change ownership, or
Do we need to make a motion to table this, or can we just table it?
just leave it.
Shane Morris's permit is tabled.
Okay.
George Boland is on next.
Okay, so
3 bedroom, 3 bathrooms?
3 bathrooms,
Wow.
2 units. I know, yeah. So with that, obviously these next 2 properties, just so you don't know now, they're already in motion. Obviously, we know how communities developing right now, how fast real estate's moving, construction's popping up, obviously. So I've allowed both I've reviewed the applications, I've reviewed the plans with Bailey, our code enforcement officer. My intention was to have plans for us, digitized wise, so you could look at them, but got a little between both our schedules again, and everybody's sending hard copies, which they requested, and I just didn't have time to get them scanned in. Anyway, on the property at hand, Mr. Poland, obviously formerly the Moosley Bagel. It went, now it's from commercial residence down to a duplex. This property obviously already, it's already connected, change of conditions, so with the permits, we based on 3-bedroom unit. I believe what get there. So we got 3 baths. 3-bedroom, 3-bath. I am happy with what was submitted as the fee that I have written down somewhere. My premise on it. So I'll say about it. 3-bedroom, 3-bath dwelling. And I think my recommendation would be approve it based on.
There you go, water in, water out.
Water in, water out.
We just have changed use from residential to commercial, from commercial to residential.
Correct.
There's no issues?
None.
None? Okay,
So can we approve this right now?
Yeah, we can.
I'll make a motion to approve George Poland's sewer application for 2588 Main Street for new construction and change of use.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, let's go to a vote.
Aye.
Aye, we have 3-0 to approve George Poland's permit. And, moving on, so then we have Earl Bowen at SC Noyes office at 2198 Main Street.
All right, so Mr. Bowen has come to us, and obviously, okay, 2198 is the vacant lot, or what was vacant lot across from the IGA. The town did utilize it as a park and ride at one time. Mr. Bowen purchased that over the winter, or last fall, excuse me, and now has developmental plans. His plan future is to have three buildings on that lot. Obviously, as you can see right now, in its current state, we'll have permitted for 2. First building being the new Noise real estate building, and then you'll have a smaller rental garage with rental property above it.
2-car garage.
2-car garage.
With 2 rentals, is that what it was said?
I
think that's what it
it's
said.
2 units, right? 2 units, not 2. Yeah, 2 units. Mr. Bowen has been great in communication and we discussed sewer plans. I did have them, right now they're shooting for gravity. They're quite confident they can make gravity in that manhole from how they have their lot laid out. Obviously, that lot is built out, so. And so they're gonna correlate everything with the overlook sidewalk project comes through, construction wise, so we don't have any interruptions. So, just additional interruptions. There, again, there will be a third complex on that lot. Potentially, there'll probably be a pad or foundation by this fall, with probably construction on that, whatever that dwelling is gonna be, or building's gonna be next summer.
Retail is what he said. isn't it?
So additionally, it's permitted for 2 new buildings
Correct.
for 2021.
And then, yes, and then he'll come back with a third sewer permit for the third building. We have discussed already, what he'll do is he'll put a 6-inch line, 6-inch stub coming off the main line, and he'll 4-inch out into those residents, into those dwellings. Excuse me.
Like I read through it, but I didn't see anything, any issues.
No, I,
So, but yeah, both those permits, at that point are, again, look, I went over them or reviewed them, I haven't put much of a price on them yet. The commercial ones, I haven't done a commercial property in a while, it isn't necessarily doesn't have a dwelling above it, so I have to just figure out based on the state scale, I will get a fee for that one. And the, like 2 dwelling unit, garage, 2-unit garage will be.
so. I'd like, I'll make a motion that we accept this permit. With you, when you figure out what needs to be charged.
Perfect.
So the Noise Real Estate, 2198 Main Street. Approved pending Keith's finishing. the-
Fee schedule.
What?
The fee schedule for it.
What he said.
Second that.
All right, is there any further discussion? All right, we put that one to a vote and approve Earl Bowman's permit for 2198 Main Street for 2 buildings.
Aye.
Aye, with 3-0 from that one.
This is really, doesn't really have to do with this. What's the deal with Rudy? If you talk more to him about that, because I talked to him a little bit today.
Right, so yeah. So part of this is where I'm gonna go with this. I was up there the other day, talked with him, and
I mean, I guess we're gonna get to this anyways.
so we got
Well, let's just,
Yeah,
let's just go right
All right,
to
there you go.
9, there we go. Cool.
I'll give you a quick update, a tickle update, and we'll go to 9.
Okay.
All right, so, number 8, a tickle update, real quick. Obviously, the winter season has come and gone. We end up putting out 11.99 million gallons. A little, a good solid year, a little less than we've had in our current average. But it's a great year. No large incidences, no incidences, no faults, great smooth running winter actually. That left unbelieving us right now in the current state, the lagoons, I think we're at a slope depth of 27 feet. Just normally this time of year, roughly with a low runoff, we should be around 10 to 11 feet. But so we're ahead of the game, knock on wood. I think that's obviously one is due to the less than average winter and the precipitation we're at. Obviously, we're at a slight drought. And then also I'm going to contribute a lot of it to tightening up the system, Town Lakes upgrades with their pump stations, not getting anything outside the top, outside groundwater. We've done, obviously continue to do our policing of some pumps and other leaks as we fix the system. So the guys have continued to buy a new scanner, continue to upgrade all our property files and maps into electronic form, so we can bring everything with us out in the field without worrying about destroying hard copies. We have a tablet that we just bring out, and we can, pull up the property file, and we can overlay on it and everything else. Just currently, they have the excavator up there. They've, I'll say, rebuilt the road into the septic fields. We, over the last couple of years, the hauler has rutted it, unintentionally rutted it up through spreading. So we got a nice solid base of road in there. The guys are actually walking the property with the excavator, pulling rocks that are in the actual roads, and resurface some of those. We have a lot of trail work to do in the next week from all the storm debris that came through the last year. Try to reroute some of those trails, reroute the trails, or pull the trees and debris out of the way. And that's aside from they've been super busy with the sales paperwork and final readings. It's much like the Water District has. And we're just going to keep moving forward to modernize the facility. And we got a grant out, a grant application out for the facility to do a feasibility study. The idea of financials, capital plan, true capital plan, and then we'll look at rate survey as we move along. And also one last thing, we're also have Wright Pierce going back over our SCADA system that we put off, or unintentionally put off based on bids that came in. That should be going back with the bid right off, and have some interest already. So we'll see what hasn't been released yet, but we'll get that out so we can utilize that money and not lose it. So okay.
All right, excellent. So back to
Number 9.
on to 9.
Okay, so number 9, we start off by saying, since our last meeting in the last month, Mr. McMillan is 100% connected. Water meter is installed, the final connection is made with sewer, and is in full compliance at the dentist office.
What do you get for meter?
I haven't looked at myself.
Okay, it doesn't matter as long as it reads.
Right.
Right.
I haven't looked at it, so. I have been talking with Mr. Haley, Kenny. Their intention, just some final things sorting out with family members, but their intention is to start on that subdivision right off. Based on I'm sure getting through some of this, the financials and whatever else, and figuring out who wants to live where. Kenny had mentioned to me through this project, they're making strides to have work in conjunction with the sidewalk project and get the lines put in. They're gonna actually go across into Dallas Hill, not across Route 4, but so we'll start seeing productivity there with the Davenport House coming down. And then above and beyond that will be anything new anyway, so it'll be above and beyond what we have asked.
So the Davenport House, which is in question for sewer connection, is being raised in moving forward with their subdivision project.
Right, so that should be.
And they're connecting to Dallas Hill coming down the hill. instead of
Correct.
Coming across.
Route 4. Right. So Davenport House, if they continue with their actual plan, that house, obviously, it's not being utilized. It's not connected, but it's not being utilized. And again, the plan was to demolish it, so that shouldn't be an issue much longer. Let me go on to Mr. Davis at Waddle. So I did go to Rudy the other day for a different issue with the radios. Had every intention to bring up the sewer, but the discussion didn't go the way I was hoping it to, so it didn't want to poke at any other sensitivities at the moment. However, talking with Mr. Bowman, who's developing a lot across, had mentioned the idea of trying to bring a water line through the same trench and tying into Ruby's and getting water. My thought is obviously Rudy's well aware of what has to happen, MH also knows. So that if nothing else, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm gonna put a stub in at least, if nothing else, out of that manhole for Rudy.
Yep.
So we don't have to come back and rip up that new project
Yep.
that we're putting in. Obviously, the full intention for this, through this project is to have him connected throughout this summer. And I will follow through with that, but again, at my expense initially, if I have to, I will put that stuff so that we're not coming back and tearing up the sidewalk. Because obviously he's gonna have to have a pump
Yeah,
system.
that's that cheap money.
So aside from that, everything else, I mean, we are, that list, this connection compliance is almost finalized.
It's good.
So
It's
I'm
taken a
very,
while, but we've been on it, so good job.
very excited for that. So I
Thank you.
appreciate you guys' efforts and patience, obviously.
Right, so we have potential to bring Rudy up to speed by the end of the summer.
Correct.
Fantastic. That'll be the last, that's the last chain, that's the last link in the chain.
That's the last link aside from the Davenport House coming down. I mean, everything else
Right.
that was on our radar, that our initial properties, it will have been connected. So
Wowzer.
now we'll just have to look at, I fully anticipate many applications coming across our tables in the next few months. As we look at people developing, now obviously stuff's going down based on lumber cost, material costs, but there's still full intentions for people moving forward. I know Bailey has an exuberant amount of applications that come through her door weekly, and I think if I don't quote her incorrectly, I think last year she did well over 100 permits, and this year, and where we're at, we're already only 5 months for, she's over halfway there already for permits coming in. So
Yeah, that's it. It's only down.
Have you got plenty of capacity to handle?
it was
Everybody was to build, because a lot of them obviously aren't on the water or the sewer system.
right. So the system was designed at capacity of the community. So you took every vacant lot that was here. Now, obviously, I'm sure there's gonna be some fluff in it based on the idea of pockets or multifamily dwellings. I'm quite confident based on how it was engineered that we have capacity for the typical duplexes, but I think as we look at some maybe larger rental opportunities, we have to quite, totally do a study on it to feel comfortable. I mean, water in, water out. We're doing a great year now. So if you look at a non-typical year, water precipitation and other things that could play a role 10% in how treatment works. But with that, obviously, we're looking, continually looking at upgrading our discharge system. So I think first up would be snowfields. And we purchased the 3 new guns last year for steel from HKD. So once we get this, hopefully this the grant I mentioned passes, and we can look at feasibility studies and start to see how we'll develop what needs to happen first. Luckily, I say unluckily, luckily or unluckily right now, a lot of the larger pockets of development are outside the sewer district or sewer or range of sewer. So that doesn't say that those will eventually have an opportunity to come online, because there's been questions already. People like the mining company.
Right.
It's already been questioned. So
Yeah.
Essentially connecting them to the sewer based on cost and effective expansion, effective and attainable housing. If you have a public sewer system, the cost of their houses goes down drastically because you're not looking at small pocket septic systems. You're looking at a large scale gravity system. They will obviously be a pump line, but they can. It's crazy what they can do. They can go from their numbers right now. I think allows them to go from 16 houses on a system to 60 if they go long. So that's, and obviously it's going to drive your cost down like 50+ grand per house. And right now, there's no lack of need of dwellings for either rental opportunities or
There's no housing with that.
there's nothing. So
All right. Well, that kind of was already, that's kind of new business, that was kind of explaining new business.
Correct,
Business.
correct.
Thank you. Anything else for new business?
I think that honestly covers everything that I can think of. I mean, we can mention conversations we were having prior to the meeting, the idea of kind of development you're seeing right now, where construction is sitting around, classic provisions and charges. Craig's intention there is just to box cut and put down new base gravels and pave both parking lots either side of the road there. There has been some obstacles for providing a safe down there with undocumented services, utilities that you don't have record of. They found a fuel tank today. They found water service, other pipes, old I say gas, or like conduit, all kinds of old items down there. I did have a lengthy talk with the foreman on site, and actually Kevin Bynum yesterday. As you guys know, our cycle line runs down Sargent's driveway underneath the brook, so they have them being extra careful in that area if they do excavate. And I said very low impact compaction if they do. Because that asbestos cycle line is not going to take a whole lot of laboratory, which is that kind of material. So, sure. That's all I got. I can think of. We haven't had a meeting in a couple months, so my brain is not on gear, and I'm not at the sewer department every day anymore. So these guys, my intention is to have one of them come down with me for these meetings to keep it a little more day to day informative for you guys. But for the time, we're going to continue on this. Now that we can meet back in person again, it should help facilitate our quorum or need for Good.
I guess that concludes it all. Is there any further discussion or anything?
Anybody?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting at almost 5:40.
17:37.
Second that.
Any further discussion? No. All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
3-0. Next meeting is June 8th. Board of Selectmen meet next Monday.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.